calling all melanated buyers and sellers. Please help us to get this word out. Practice B1 at iShop.black, your one-stop shop for your buying and selling needs. iShop.black offers a growing list of over 30,000 products, curated with care and designed for you. Discover everything from stylish apparel to premium designer brands, to unique items and home essentials, all in one place. iShop.black showcases products of verified sellers. At iShop.black, with every purchase and every sale, we build something great together. Alone we may go faster, but together we go farther. IB Israel. Join us at iShop.black to start your free trial today. Contact us at info@ishop.black. www.ishop.black.
Hey, what's going on, fam? This is Jay Cameron inviting you to join us in Ethiopia next March 2025. And this is going to be an iconic trip that you don't want to miss, a trip of a lifetime. We're going to be visiting Addis Ababa, Gondor, Lalibela. You'll have a chance to taste the amazing Ethiopian food. You'll also have a chance to visit the Rastafarian community. You'll get the history, you'll get the fashion, you'll have an opportunity to shop. It's going to be a trip, an experience of a lifetime. So make sure you sign up to join us in Ethiopia, March 2025.
Introducing the African Diaspora News Channel app, your gateway to stories that's overlooked by the corporate mainstream media.
At African Diaspora News Channel, we cover stories that don't receive mainstream attention, and we serve as the voice to the global Black community. We are committed to informing and educating through the power of media, connecting the African diaspora one story at a time.
With our platform, we're helping to end injustice by exposing it.
Join us in standing for excellence in journalism and serving our community. Download the African Diaspora News app today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. All right, we are here. Let your friends and family know we are here on a Wednesday, June the 5th. Let's see here. Let me check something else out. All right, cool. We good to go. But before I get started, definitely a few announcements. So I made an announcement last night about some video editors out of South Africa. Well, that's been taken care of. Position's been taken care of. So I'm glad of that, because we got to keep rocking, keep doing what we're doing, right? We working on a plan. You know, I got to circle back to Kenya, and so give me some time, Kenya. I'm gonna circle back. We got to put some things together there. Maybe 2025 we can get established somewhere in West Africa too, so we can hit all three spots that we need to hit. But we going somewhere with what we're doing there. Okay. Number two, make sure that those who have got some emails from some people today about the Ethiopia trip, make sure that you sign up for that. I'll make sure the link will be at the end of this, right when you wrap up. I'll put it in the pinned comment, but if you want to go ahead on and just get to it now, it's africandiasporanews.org/Ethiopia. It'll take you directly to it. Maybe one of the mods could put that in there, africandiasporanews.org/Ethiopia, and it'll take you there. You can make a deposit every Monday. Jay is giving me the information. The last information I got was 21 spots left. It costs $199 to put your deposit down. Take your whole family. That's, like I tell y'all, the Ethiopia trip made me switch my whole everything. So y'all should want to see what happened over there for me to switch everything. I switched. I mean, literally everything I was doing is switched. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be good for y'all to go and see it for yourself. And I think it'll be, a good trip and a good experience for those who definitely would like to go and appreciate that. we'll get to the devotional here in a second. Also, part of having the African Diaspora News Channel app is getting stories that we can't post on, this platform, other social media platforms. Now, there was a story that Naledi had made about this Chinese guy, and boy, he was beating the brakes off of these 2 African employees. And she asked me, you think I can put that up on YouTube? I said, no. I said that was already gonna go on the app anyway, because anything we post, is already on the app. But there are news stories that we are making, or interviews or things like that is not gonna be on any social media platform. So that's like one of the stories. So if you're there, you can just go to the news section and you can see that. Like I said, when I seen that video originally, I'm like, what the hell, man? But, we're slowly growing, on the app. And like I tell y'all, the best thing y'all can do, if you want to say, what can we do to support this platform? Just download the app, get a membership there, whether it's monthly, quarterly, or yearly. That's the best way. I had somebody ask me a question today. Well, I have a YouTube channel membership. Is it the same like the app? No. What happens on Google, YouTube, is Google, YouTube. The app is completely different because YouTube can take away memberships if they want, suspend something. That's the purpose of us having the app. That's the purpose of us doing things like that on our own and trying to grow our app. Because I have people saying, well, you want to spend some money on trying to promote your YouTube channel? I said, no. But I'm willing to spend money on promoting our app or strategies to grow our app. That's what I'm willing to do at this point. Because I just know that these platforms are so volatile, and they could tell you tomorrow, you can't say this, you can't do that, you can't talk about this subject matter. Y'all remember during the time of the pandemic, you couldn't even talk about things. Now all this stuff is coming out when people were saying it was getting people whole channels taken away. But if you have something like that come up again, we can talk about it all day on the app. Nobody's not gonna take that away. That's ours. So that's the deal about ownership as Black people. We got to start looking at ownership. Of course, it's easier to be on these platforms, but the ease of it and all of that, they have complete control, and they could just take it away when they want to. And there's nothing you could do about it. You can talk about freedom of speech and all of that. They don't care about that because they own it. So that's why we had to, because I've seen this happen to so many people. They build up a platform and they pull it from them. And then I'm like, what if they would have built something on their own while they had these platforms? Then people already know where to go. So just want to make sure that that's the best thing you can do to support us, is just be on that app, because that's where everything's going to be. Also, want to give us some birthday shout outs to some people on the team that happened this week. First of all, birthday shout out to Juan Gale. Shout out to Juan Gale. Definitely happy birthday to her. And Brother Stanley, give a shout out to him. His birthday. Brother Stanley is one of our editors that's here. He covers a lot of the things definitely on the African side. He's in Ghana, and shout out to Ghana. And Brother Stanley, he does a great job here. A lot of the assets he's developed here. He's a good stand-up brother, and I appreciate his work. Of course, I appreciate everybody's work that work here. We have a good team that we're growing, good team, and also the people on the Black Congregation channel that's helping us over there, trying to bring some of that up. Sister Alexandria, shout out to her, young sister there. Sister Sharon, she's starting to do things there. I know she did a video about the Chicago Public Schools. So we got a lot of working parts going, but everything we're doing, everything is going to the app. So if you're like, oh man, I can't keep up with all that, if you be on the app, you'll keep up with it all. Also, tomorrow is my birthday, right? So tomorrow's my birthday, and so you want to celebrate, help me celebrate. You want to give a birthday gift to me tomorrow? Best gift you can give me is get a membership on the app. And something that's lasting. Hey, the minimum is just $9.99. Hey, if we, can be supported for at least $9.99 or yearly or whatever, that's the best gift we can get at this point. That help us keep going. All right. With that being said, let's go on and get to the devotional today. Today it will be Eric Mays. Now I did some amending on the devotionals, I think on 2 of them actually. But let's get to Eric Mays. Where are we at? Eric Mays.
I'm just telling you. I'm going to let you talk.
Who you talking to you gonna let? The voters let me. I got voted in. Who you talking to? You gonna let me? I got seconds left.
I want you to know.
Ain't she crazy? How many seconds? Why I'm counting your time. Miss Galloway, I'm gonna rule you out of order. You keep talking so much.
Do I have the floor? Do I?
Yes, you do.
You have the floor.
Thank you very much.
What a fool.
We have got to help the city of Flint. We have got to move the city forward. We have got to vote yes on this. Thank you.
Ms. Herkenroder, you the reason that I'm going to vote the way I'm going to vote, because you tried to put words in my mouth like I said you was a racist. You got to stop doing that. You've got to stop doing that.
Ms. Fields, please be very careful in that area. Please.
All I said, there was mediation and there were people in rooms.
You told
That's
details of who in what room and how many.
But I am going to finish saying this.
Well, go ahead.
That's fine. Do you?
It shouldn't be fine. We got folks sitting in business, and I wouldn't care if you was the chair, the sofa, the TV. So you might want a dialogue.
I don't give a...
You don't give a what?
That's what he's trying to do.
So you dialoguing?
There's no dialogue.
It is some dialogue. You gave me some
Point
dialogue.
of order. Councilwoman Worthy, what is your point of order? No, I'm not.
You ain't?
I'm not.
You must.
This is a joke.
Stop this abuse.
I'm going to give you a point of order. Personal attacks is out of order. Now, you want to make a personal attack on me, I'm going to tell you something. I'm tired of Ms. Fields calling me racist. I'm tired of you calling me personal names as it relates to women. I'm tired of it. It's wrong. You're out of order. But you keep doing it. Because when I start blasting your butt, like I'm doing, everybody already know it's coming from y'all. But don't get beside yourself, Mr. Chairman. If he gonna holler tell me to shut up, you better give him his warning.
I gave you yours.
Give him his. If you gonna discriminate, you gonna let the white man running for mayor holler across and tell this black man to shut up.
I don't want to hear
that. So when he get loud, I'm gonna get louder. When they go low, I go lower.
And that's the word of the day. When they go low, you go lower. Yeah, Michelle Obama was talking about when they go low, we go high. Man, that's speaking for herself. They ain't speaking for everybody now. Because I'm a firm believer, treat others the way you want to be treated. And what I mean by that is you treat me nice, you better believe I'm going to treat you nice, speak to you with respect, everything. You got that from me. But if you treat me mean or you ugly or whatever, then I'm gonna have to give you, the medicine you dished out to me. That's how I feel about it. So yeah, I agree with Eric Mays, point blank. Because black folks, we tried that already, that Michelle Obama stuff, and what happened with us with that? Especially dealing with these entities we dealing with in America, they don't respect nothing outside of someone going lower, right? All right. Yeah, the devotionals will extend as we see clips. Maybe say, hey, look at this. I play them because, it's lighthearted and that's what it is. It's lighthearted. All right. So let's get to our sister, Angel Reese. Now, everybody been talking about the WNBA and, oh boy, we've been seeing some interesting takes on the Caitlin Clark situation. And, even when I'm going to talk about Caitlin Clark here tonight, part of it, I'm definitely going to be fair about it. I personally have nothing against Caitlin Clark. She hasn't done nothing to me. So I'm not really invested into her like that. But let me slow walk kind of how I found out about even Angel Reese herself. I didn't know who Angel Reese was at one point in time. And I didn't even know who Caitlin Clark was. I did because I didn't follow women's college basketball, just be honest with you. But this is when I found out about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. Let me get to when I found out about them. And probably most of you too.
Knows a ring is coming.
All right, so that's when I found out about Angel Reese. Not because of what she did, now at that time period, the national championship game, Caitlin Clark was, doing this in people's face and all that, but that's sports. I mean, come on. I'm not mad that Caitlin Clark was doing that. If you jay somebody up and you do that or you dunk on somebody, Dikembe Mutombo used to do this at people when he would block their shots and all of that. I mean, that's part of sports. So it was nothing wrong with what Caitlin was doing, and it was nothing wrong that Angel like, hey, I'm about to get this ring. Like that, you know what I'm saying? That's sports. That's what people go to see, right? But what made me pay attention to it was not so much, what they do in sports, but it was the racial politics. It was the way them folks were responding to Angel Reese. After that, they was saying things like, oh, that's so unsportsmanlike, and why does she have to do that? And there's, oh, she's so ghetto. Oh, she's so, horrible. She's ratchet. I'm trying to use all these terms. And let me tell y'all something, Black America, or even people throughout the diaspora, throughout the world. It's never what the folks are saying to you. It's not the words they're saying. It's the spirit behind the words. If you listen to when they called her unsportsmanlike, ghetto, they even called her a thug, right? It's not the words they're saying, it's the spirit behind it. Because they're so much of cowards, they really want to call her the N-word, right? That's what but you have to understand, they cannot really, as a group, compete. They can't without rigging it in a way where they win. Because anytime you compete with them where it can't be rigged, 9 times out of 10 they'll lose, especially something physical. They'll lose. And they can't stand losing to Black people. So for the simple fact that Caitlin Clark, their, great white hope, lost to LSU, and then you have Angel Reese just throwing it in her face like, aha, you lost. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they was angry. They was upset. Oh, they were so upset with her. They were deceiving. So when I saw the spirit of what they were saying, and trust me, I do this for a living. I know them like the back of my hand. Maybe not the average Black American don't know them. Oh, but I know them. So I knew what they were doing. I knew they were attacking her solely because she's Black. Because if it was about sportsmanship, then they'd have been mad at Caitlin Clark because Caitlin Clark shoves people too. She fouls people hard too. And they never said nothing about that. But the moment something happens with Caitlin, oh my God, what are they doing? So I understood the racial politics behind it. Now, we've been paying attention to all of this stuff going on with the WNBA. And Angel Reese has said something recently, and I want to chime in on after a game. And let's chime in on this. Hold on. Let's pull up what Angel said.
It all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. And understanding, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, just because of one single game. And just looking at that, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me, too, and I want y'all to realize that.
Boom. And she's 100% right on that, what she just said. Yes, and I'm glad she said that because let's call it what it is. I would have never known who now one of them was until that video I showed you. So yes, Angel Reese is just as responsible for people looking at the WNBA as Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark not lost once, but she's a 2-time loser. She don't have an NCAA championship. Angel Reese has one. These folks are trying to call her, she's going to be like the female Michael Jordan. No. Number one, Michael Jordan won the NCAA championship. You remember that? With North Carolina? Right? And he won several NBA titles. She's a rookie. I'm not saying she won't get a title. I don't know. It remains to be seen. But Angel Reese is responsible also. Now, of course, they play 2 different positions. Angel Reese is a forward, okay? She's not a forward like LeBron would be, right? But she's still a forward. Now, what I would suggest to Angel Reese, I've been hearing some of the criticism about the WNBA. It's like, well, they don't dunk or whatever. Angel Reese, listen to me. Get with the brothers on the Bulls. Go work with them and let them teach you how to dunk. You 6'3". Let them, do whatever workout you gotta do, start dunking. Angel, if you start dunking, you would change the whole perception. Just start dunking on women in there. You can do it at 6'3". I know you could. So, but you just got to go work on it with the fellas. That's what I would do. I mean, make it exciting. Start seeing dunks, because people see a fast break, they want to see a dunk. Y'all go into the later ball up and like, you know what I'm saying? Why y'all got the attention? Because you would literally be the person that you're saying, what you gonna end up being later. Be that person. Start dunking. I'm just saying, just dunk. You tall enough, sis. So you've been seeing all the games, right? Or whatever. Now, Caitlin Clark. Let me just be fair about Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark, I watched her play. Watched what she was doing or whatever. When the girl is on, she on. And she will pull for a three-pointer. She will pull, she'll drive, she'll do all that. Listen, no matter what the racial politics is, I won't take away that the girl, she can shoot when she on or whatever. I'm like, wow, man, she pulling way back from the three-point line and she hit nothing but net. I'm like, shoot, you know what I'm saying? I won't take that away from Caitlin Clark. Why should I? You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember the time when Larry Bird was playing. Larry Bird would pull from that three-point line too. Larry Bird was good in his time. Him and Magic had a rivalry, right? The Lakers versus Celtics. If you in my age group, you remember those rivalries. That was good basketball. Magic versus Bird. Like, come on, they made video games about, Magic versus Bird, right? So it's good for basketball to have a rivalry. It's good. But see, with this situation, y'all making it, I'm talking about a lot of you out there, a lot of you folks, you trying to turn it into some racialized crap. Now, they mentioned in all the fouls and all of that, right? And I want to get to a clip from CNN, and Bob Costas is going to really say what the problem is, right? So let's go on and get this clip up so y'all cause see, Bob Costas is going to say it a lot better than me, and I'll just follow up behind it. So let's cue this up.
This is Angel Reese weighing in. She is the other big star right now in WNBA. Listen.
People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, like just because of one single game. And just looking at that, like, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role. The reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
Well, she's talking about the championship game a year ago, LSU versus Iowa, and LSU prevailed. But to your earlier point, there was an incident recently. Alyssa Thomas, who happens to be African-American, grabbed Angel Reese by the throat and threw her to the floor. Flagrant 2, ejected from the game. The reason why that doesn't spark as much conversation isn't just that Caitlin Clark is a bigger star than Alyssa Thomas. It's because it's a black-on-black incident, and you don't have that dynamic that people can comment on, yes, but also exaggerate and make the entire story sometimes.
And also, that is really that is between the lines.
No one cared about the WNBA when women of a certain color were beating up and bruising each other, because it's been happening since the league's inception. We have this star, this person that people love. They want to protect her. So now the new fans and the new analysts and the new people have so much to say. Bob, thank you for saying that and acknowledging that, because you're a legend in this sport. And you are also gracious enough to say, look, I'm not an expert in the WNBA, but what I do know from the history and what I do know, this is why she is being treated this way, and why no one cares about
I've seen it in every sport. I mean, a newcomer is tested and to some extent resented.
All right, so basically, Bob Costas, which I watched a lot of NBA games that Bob Costas had called, right? So, he's definitely a legendary commentator. Most of you know Bob Costas, have done things with the Olympics. I mean, anybody know sports know Bob Costas, right? Nobody never had an issue with him. So he said that as long as it was black players, fouling each other hard, it was never a problem. But now black players are fouling, Miss Caitlin there, and all of a sudden it's a problem. You know, these people have said that they should be filing assault charges because of the fouls they doing to Caitlin. Assault charges? Really? That's basketball. Let me tell you something. The NBA used to be like the WNBA with the fouling. If y'all remember the heyday of the NBA, the 80s and 90s, maybe the early 2000s too, the NBA was just like that for a lot. Come on. Y'all remember seeing the Lakers versus Celtics, Chicago versus Detroit? Man, Bill Laimbeer, man, please. Man, Bill Laimbeer was dirty. Oh, man. You know what I'm saying? Joe Dumars and them, like I say with Chicago, man, Jordan had so much problem with Detroit, with Joe Dumars. Jordan talked about that. That, man, every time Joe Dumars, he got on my nerves. He talked about that. You remember them Chicago versus New York series a lot of times. Tough series for Chicago, even though they won them, but still, they didn't get it easy. So it was so many different rivalries in basketball, and dudes were fouling. Matter of fact, the refs would let more fouls go in the playoffs and in the finals than regular season. So now the NBA today, from what I see, that's why I can't get with it, it's just too soft. It's not like it used to be. So the WNBA is kind of like how the NBA used to be. They fouling. Oh, they fouling hard, boy. I was like, oh, look at what they doing to each other. And then the deal is, Caitlin come out there, she's what is she, a guard, point guard? I don't know exactly. She's either a guard or point guard. I don't know her exact position. But what I'm saying is they coming at her. Bottom line. They got people say, oh, they so jealous of her. Let me tell you something. The problem with Caitlin Clark is not so much Caitlin Clark herself, it's something that she didn't ask for. Because I have to be real on this. Them people that's getting around her on a racial sense, and them black players see the racism. And that's why some of the target is on her back too. And little comments she make that leans into the racism. Instead of her, saying certain things to kind of dissipate the energy, Caitlin say little jabs, and then makes black people like, oh, really? Oh, okay. All right. I got you. So yeah, I can get it. I wouldn't want nobody to put me in a position where, dog, man, I got to go defend myself, literally. I know they're going to foul me or whatever, and it's not really me. It's these so-called new fans I never had before that's literally making everything racialized. That's what it is. Them sisters been in that league for a long time. And she come around and all of a sudden, now all the endorsements and all the attention and all of that, and she never won a championship. And this is the thing. In this system of racism and white supremacy, everything this girl has, I'm not talking about her talent. I'm talking about the endorsement, I'm talking about the attention. It didn't come from her winning. It come from how they try to manufacture somebody. Remember, they always want a great white hope. This girl never won an NCAA championship. Never won. The story of last season was South Carolina. They didn't lose a game, and they beat Iowa. And nobody would know. Nobody would know. Most teams that go undefeated, they want to talk to the coach. They want to talk to the players. They want to talk to everybody, right? This girl lose twice to show that she can't lead a team to victory. Let's call it what it is, because the greats always lead a team to victory, right? See, Michael Jordan in college led his team to victory. This girl was being put on Saturday Night Live with her team and lost. But the girls who had a perfect season, won the NCAA championship, they not even talked to. How do you think Sister Dawn feels about that? Like, you coach a perfect season and they treating you like you lost, and treating the team that you beat like they won the NCAA championship. Y'all, that was completely on racial lines. You look at the endorsements she's getting. Most people would give the endorsements to the winners, not the losers. That's usually how it goes. But no, they all got together and they say, listen, we got to have us one. So this is the girl we're going to choose, and let's go ahead on and put everything. Then the folks, this is what they were also saying. well, Caitlyn, she's just more marketable than Angel Reese. Last time I checked, winners are usually more marketable than losers from what I've seen over time. And listen, if you want to talk about fashion sense, if you want to talk about overall just most people looks, I would say I would rather spend money with Angel Reese because she looks more fashionable, marketable. She got style. She's, not complaining every 5 minutes about what happens on the court. She's tough, right, in the area of sports. Then you got Caitlyn here. Caitlyn, even when she put on makeup, I want to say something. Let me say this. How can I say it? Caitlyn look like a dude. I'm sorry. Even with makeup on, she look like a dude. She looks masculine. Let me say that word. She looks masculine. Even with makeup, she looks masculine. And Angel looks feminine. Even without makeup, she looks feminine. So how is a female that looks masculine more marketable? And if she still haven't won anything. I don't see dudes, calling her a Barbie, but they call Angel Reese a Chi-Town Barbie. And she just got there and they call her Chi-Town Barbie. Why would they call her a Barbie for? Why? I'm just saying the people calling her that. She didn't call herself Chi-Town Barbie. They did that. Now, if y'all in the chat, hey, look, I wanted to say something else, but I just had to use another word. That's why I said masculine. I wanted to go somewhere else. But I think people in the chat would agree that Angel Reese looks feminine and Caitlin Clark don't. So they're trying to, in this system, they inflate people who don't deserve it. They all, on your job, you've seen that. They get promotions they didn't deserve. They get jobs they're not qualified for. You've seen this. It's just how that system works with them. You know what I'm saying? They got plenty of girls in the WNBA has won championships in the WNBA, and they have not gotten any of the recognition or endorsements or anything like Caitlyn has got. Let's call it what it is. These people always trying to manufacture something. You look in music, Eminem, when he came in, right? Oh, they tried to give him every award they could to Eminem. Now, do some Eminem music okay? Yeah, can Eminem rap? I'm just fair on everything. Yeah, he can. When he really wants to, for sure, he can. But let's call it what it is. Eminem, how in the world he got more awards and Tupac didn't even get one? Tupac didn't even live as long as Eminem, and he's more solidified. That's what I'm saying. The people they giving awards to like that, they always trying to manufacture them. Jack Harlow, Lil Dicky, they always trying to manufacture one or two or whatever, because they just got to do it. They can't just say, hey, look, the black person, they doing it. Let me throw all the behind them. No, they can just be mediocre and get that. And that's really what you're seeing with the Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark thing. Now, let's move it to these black male commentators. I see a lot of y'all was talking about that, the black male commentators. All right. So, yes, I've seen Charles Barkley. Yes, I've seen a lot of them saying, oh, y'all just jealous. Y'all jealous of that girl. Like, Charles Barkley was sounding like a doggone plantation slave. What you mean jealous of that girl? Like, man, bro, we've been off the plantation since 1865, brother. Stop sounding like you just don't have a lick of education. You went to Auburn. I know you learned something in Auburn, right? Man, Charles. Anyway, so this narrative about everybody, the black players, are jealous of Caitlyn. Oh, well, they should be grateful she's there because now they're flying charter and they don't have to fly commercial and this and that and the third. I'm like, what? So what are they supposed to do? And see her on the court and say, thank you, Miss Caitlyn. Thank you so much. We wouldn't know what to do, ma'am, without you. I'm so glad, Miss Caitlyn. That's what the women's supposed to do, those sisters? No, not at all. And once again, Caitlyn makes more of a target on her back the way she responds to that. Because let's say if Caitlyn were like, yeah, wow, I'm not used to this. And now she'd have said it like, well, all the WNBA should be flying charter. I mean, come on, but she kind of made it about herself. And then when people kept saying, oh, y'all should be glad because y'all not flying charter because of Caitlyn. Caitlyn could have came right behind and said, look, I'm just happy that all these great professional women who deserve to fly charter is flying charter. It's not about me. It has nothing to do with me. I just raised an issue, but it has nothing to do with me. This is about the league. We all a family here. We gonna compete. And that's how she should have just handled it. But Caitlyn walked into a lot of her problems too. I told you, she set herself up at times by not handling things right. And she's very mouthy to the point that her own father told her, shut your mouth. Even on the court, be quiet. He's told her so many times to stop running off at the mouth. So she ain't listened to her own father. Oh, Lord, I heard she got a boyfriend, so he must be a beta male because there ain't no way she gonna listen. But, you know how it goes with Brad and them, beta male central. But them girls not jealous because them girls are there, ladies, women were there way before she got there. And there'll be women there long after she's gone. Her thing is she wanted to run off at the mouth. She wanted to lean into her own hype. She got to deal with it. Jordan was fouled a lot. Jordan was fouled. Magic was fouled. Cheryl Swoops, when she played, you remember Cheryl Swoops? I interviewed her. She was fouled. Cynthia Cooper, you remember Cynthia Cooper? She was fouled. Lisa Leslie, she was fouled. I'm talking about the greats in the NBA WNBA I'm talking about. Those women, they were fouled too. Nobody said nothing about that. So if those women was getting fouled, then who is Caitlyn? Caitlyn got to get hit too, just like everybody else. Now, should she have should people flagrant foul her? No. Should people clothesline her? No. But see, Caitlyn, she's been caught pushing people. She's been caught elbowing people. When she do it, nobody say nothing. But when the other sister go retaliate and do it back, she's wrong. Oh, kind of remind me of that live stream I did last night about Elaine, Arkansas, when they was attacking black people. Black people try to defend themselves, and all of a sudden that's wrong because you try to stop us from killing you. So you guys are doing an insurrection. I told y'all, the same attitudes they had back then, it's the same attitudes they got today. How dare you as a black person retaliate on what happened to you? You're wrong. You're wrong for retaliating for what they did to you. I ain't seen her boyfriend, Jane. You say her boyfriend look like her? It figures. That figures. Well, look, you say the record is 2-9. You say, the Connecticut Sun is 9-0. Okay. If the Connecticut Sun is 9-0, why aren't they talking about the Connecticut Sun? If they're 9-0, they haven't lost a game, right? Why aren't the conversation about those young ladies? That's what I'm talking about. Y'all have to understand, media is a business. Also, media is propaganda. And Caitlin Clark is part of propaganda, folks. Because it doesn't make sense why she's getting that kind of attention if the Connecticut Sun is 9-0. Like, think about it. In the NBA, what team do you know they covered as a loser versus the team that haven't lost a game? They usually cover the teams that haven't lost a game, not the ones, but that's why it's straight propaganda, and this is targeted, and this is what they're trying to do because they're trying to make this girl into something. That's what it is. Because it don't even make sense. Now, if Caitlin Clark was on the Connecticut Sun and they were 9-0, it would make sense to talk about it at that point because she's winning. Yeah, well, Mama Deb, look, Mama Deb, all of them, let me repeat this, Mama Deb, all of them, not just Caitlin Clark, know their privilege and they use it, especially against us. They definitely use it. And Caitlin Clark is pretty upfront about using her privilege. She has no problem doing it. And that's okay. that's okay. Because I'm going to be real with you. If we got to a point that we had a privilege, we'll use it. You doggone right, I'll use mine. I'm realistic. If I have a privilege, I'm going to use it. I'm not going to be predatory with it, but I would use it. All of us use the privilege when we have the opportunity. We just in America haven't had the opportunity to have a privilege. But see, the deal is when we have a privilege, it's something we earn. It's not nothing that's given to us. You understand? It's not nothing we stole to get. It's not nothing that's manufactured. Most times when black people earn a privilege, it's because they earned it. They work for it. So they have a particular privilege now. And even if you have a privilege, you don't misuse it. Even with your privilege, you still can be good to people at the same time. You don't have to be bad to somebody just because you got a privilege. Now, all those black commentators that's talking about the sisters are jealous of Caitlin Clark, I'm going to tell you what that's about. There's a lot of black people, male and female, who are self-replicating slaves. They have Stockholm Syndrome. Caitlin Clark didn't ask all these black male commentators to defend her. That's what I want y'all to understand. Just like Dylan Roof did not ask those families to say, I forgive you. He didn't ask for forgiveness. It's something in black Americans, I'll have to talk about that. You have Stockholm Syndrome even in 2024. You're going to defend them. You're going to forgive them. You're going to give them the benefit of the doubt. You would do that more for them than your own black American community or people in the diaspora. If somebody in black America would do you something, you don't want to forgive them. Or if somebody in the diaspora do you something, you don't want to forgive them. But let Miss Ann, let Miss Caitlin here do something. Well, maybe she had a bad day. And, maybe she just didn't understand. It's always an excuse. And it's not that Miss Caitlin asked you to do that. That's the thing. It's not that she asked you to. You just automatically do it because it's like kind of programmed in your DNA that I have to give her the benefit of the doubt. I have to forgive her because that's a good white Jesus thing to do. But you don't think that way about your own people. A black person do you something, there's no forgiveness. You cutting them off. A black person do something, you ready to beat them down. You're ready to cut them. You're ready to shoot them. You're ready to do anything you want to another black person. I always said, why don't you treat black people how you view the folks? And then you treat them how you treat black people. Because realistically, the way we've been treated in America, that kind of response would be warranted. Don't you think? So a lot of these black male commentators, you see, they won't even defend Angel Reese. They don't come to Angel. There's very few of them, very, very few that have came to Angel Reese's defense. If they had some sort of code, they will be defending Angel Reese. They'll be speaking up for Angel Reese. They'll be bigging her up. Now, shout out to Lonzo Ball. Let me give him a shout out. So Lonzo had said something because they had ejected Angel Reese from a game. She had got a technical foul, and she disagreed with it. Most players do. And she was like, whatever, like that, and walked off. And they teed her up for waving her hand. And so she got ejected. So she was going to have to pay a fine. Now, they said you can get up to 7 technical fouls in a year or you get suspended, right? So Lonzo Ball, he plays with the Bulls. He told Angel, he said, hey, Angel, look, don't worry about that foul. I got it. I'll pay your fine. And then she had responded and said, oh, okay, good looking out, gang, like that. She was just, appreciative. And then WNBA come around and say, oh, well, we're going to go on and drop that foul off of her record. So she only got 1. See, now, what Lonzo did, Lonzo was standing on business. He was being on code, protecting Angel Reese, which is like what he should be doing. He should be doing that. Now, that's impressive But all these other black male commentators that's running out here defending Caitlyn when she even asks you to, that's sickening. But that's indicative to a lot of black men, unfortunately, in America. They're so quick to go defend people like Caitlyn, but won't stand up for nobody in the community. And it don't matter if they dating in the community or not. They're black. They're supposed to always defend the community. Period. You're not absolved. No matter who they dating and who they married to, you're not absolved. I don't believe in that excuse. Well, they don't do it because they date this, or it don't matter who they date. Don't matter. Because one thing I'm gonna tell you, especially if you're dating people like Caitlyn, they always gonna stand up and defend white supremacy. Even when they laying in the bed with you, they gonna get right out that bed and defend white supremacy. Period. They can have kids with you. They still gonna defend white supremacy. You better believe that. Oh shoot, hold on. Miss Patchouli, hold on. I didn't realize, I didn't see this. He said, hey, baby brother is Miss J. Oh shoot, wishing you happy birthday. Oh, okay. Miss J, how you doing? Thank you for SA. I'll never be the same. Oh boy, you know, y'all, I was talking about Miss J. Remember Miss J? That's her right there. Well, shout out to Miss J. Appreciate you. Yeah, well, I'm glad you had a good time. I'm glad you had a good time on the trip. You're right. It changes you. It really do. I don't know, Miss J. Are you going to go on the Ethiopia trip? I'm sorry. You going to go on the Ethiopia trip in March? Because it's, why it's available. Now, I know you got to meet, Renelle Way and everything. One gal will be there this time. That's her homeland. Ethiopia's her homeland. So she going to meet us out there, and y'all can meet her. All right. Yeah, you say, LeBron. He another one defending Caitlin Clark. Why? I don't see him talking about Angel Reese. Why don't he say, hey, you know what, I want to go, work with Angel and help her with her game or whatever. Like, why your brother's not coming in and assisting Angel to be better in her position? LeBron, he a great person to go do it, right? Well, you say, of course, Caitlin Clark is drawing the attention, but my thing is you got to win too. When the spotlight's on you, that's good and bad, because when you're losing, the whole world watching you. And then, when they're trying to manufacture a great white hope, eventually it runs out. If she's not winning, it's not going to work. It'll be like, bruh, she ain't winning. Like the New York Liberty the other night kicked they butt. Oh, man, Caitlin only had 3 points. She only scored 1 3-pointer in the game, and she didn't do nothing else. The whole game that she played, New York Liberty blew them out. How is she supposed to be the female Michael Jordan and got blown out like that? Come on now. Abdul Ali Muhammad says, none of this sports stuff has been really beneficial to the black community. Yes, it has, because it's taken a lot of black people coming from poor neighborhoods and made them and their families very well off. Brothers who was coaches, brothers who are trainers. I know people who've been in the NFL personally, and the NFL has helped them have a permanent retirement, way better than Social Security. You do your time in the NFL and you got a permanent retirement until you pass away. Look at your boy OJ. All that money they was trying to get at OJ, they couldn't touch his NFL pension. So what you mean it had been beneficial? It has been beneficial to black people. Why do you think black people want to look a way out in sports? Because if you're talented, it's the best job ever. No, it is beneficial. It is a multi-billion-dollar business. We should be getting more of a piece of the pie in those leagues. That's the problem. Why would, if I can go run and jump and catch a ball or run a ball and get paid millions of dollars, doggone it, I'm gonna do it. There ain't nothing wrong with that. You're not stealing. You're not hurting nobody. Do your time in the league, get your pension, and go on somewhere. You can go do something else. The music industry. People can talk about it, but you got stories like 50 Cent. He went in the music industry. He did his thing. Now he's kind of transcended music. You see that. He's gotten to other things, and 50 is just an entity in himself, and he still sells out concerts because he just had a tour, and he sold out everywhere he went. I mean, if 50 would have stayed in Jamaica, Queens, and not did anything, he wouldn't have had nothing. So I don't put nobody down for being in sports, music, if they're actors or actresses. I don't put them down. Why? Yeah, I mean, it's a job. Yeah, it's a job, but that job can transcend. If that's the case, I'm gonna use myself as an example. I had a job in the petrochemical industry, right? My job in the petrochemical industry helped me to facilitate and get things started on this end of what I'm doing now. So you can transcend that job into something bigger than the job, whatever it may be. So I don't put down no black person for sports or anything legal and lawful, and they're not being immoral in what they're doing. No, I don't put nobody down for that. You got to earn your money, because look, I'm not paying your bills. Yeah, there should be, yes. There should be more black NBA and WNBA team owners. You doggone right it should be. What team, was it WNBA or NBA? What team did they have 4 black people came together to get this, some team? Is it WNBA or is it a NBA? Hell, if I had the money, I would want a WNBA team. If I had the money, I'm like, that's a league I would go to. I wouldn't want to be in the NBA because the NBA would be too expensive. So I would rather go with the WNBA and try to get a team there. If I had $100 million, I would definitely say, hey man, I'd like to get a Houston team again, because Houston used to have a team, the Houston Comets, with Cheryl Swoops and them played, right? And they won several WNBA championships. Man, we need another Houston team again. I'm surprised Tillman Fertitta ain't try to get a Houston team again. The Toyota Center just sitting there when the season's over with. Why not? You know, a lot of these brothers be complaining about we don't have sports teams. It's so much easier if you go get a WNBA team right now. Why can't you go get some teams? Think about it. It's harder to get an NBA team when the players are getting paid, $20, $30 million contracts versus the WNBA when they getting paid $70,000 for the year. Like, that's the league you want to go to. So because think about it on an investor sense. If you could really get that league up to where the NBA is at, you gonna become a billionaire if you got a team. I'm just saying, it's just, but our people with the money just don't think. I just what it is. They just don't think sometimes. I don't know what it is, but they get the wrong people money. Yeah. Sure, yeah. Cheryl Swoops, Cynthia Cooper. Oh yeah, they was the greatest. And the time I spoke with Cheryl and interviewed Cheryl Swoops. I mean, you can go to just type in Cheryl Swoops on this channel, and you can pull up the interview I did with her a couple years ago. Yeah, Cheryl, cool people. She's real cool. Yeah. Oh, you say the Falcons? Oh, they got the Falcons? Okay. Okay. Well, if it's the Falcons, that would make sense. I mean, it's Atlanta. I mean, look, I'm going to tell y'all what. I've never seen so much black excellence and black entrepreneurship, and just Atlanta's a different city, man. Like, Atlanta got different, but I always tell people, if I was to move away from the Houston area, Atlanta would be my spot. Ain't nothing outside of Houston like Atlanta to me. You know, Chicago is nice too, though. Chicago is, man, the community of Chicago, I like that too. You know. So yeah, shout out to Chicago. New York, the brothers and sisters in New York, like I said, man, they gave me so much love. Every time I go out to New York, you know, and I'm walking around, I run into so many brothers and sisters out there. I mean, now, New York, they gonna tell you the truth. And one brother told me, he said, look, if us New Yorkers mess with you, then you good. If we don't mess with you, you know, because you know how we are here in New York. So, oh yeah, I know how y'all are in New York. You know, so shout out to all of the people in NYC, man. I know y'all brothers and sisters, y'all dealing with it. They dumping all kind of people on top of y'all out there. But, man, keep the fight up in New York, man, and Chicago. Keep that fight up. Those you know, Sister Carter out there in Chicago and Brother Tyrone Muhammad, yeah, y'all keep fighting for Chicago, man, because, you know, black people need people to keep fighting. I got to get back to Chicago, man. Just do a series of interviews out there once again and just kind of talk to some people in the community because, like I said, I really like that out there in Chicago. But, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for joining us on the stream. Greatly appreciate it. Make sure you click the subscribe button if it's your first time here. Make sure you click the like button. Like the content. Once again, if you have not signed up or thinking about it, make sure you signed up for the Ethiopian trip, March 31 through April 9, 2025. It's going to cost $199 down, and you can just pay payments up until you pay that off and everything. Bring your friends, bring your family, bring your babies if you can. I've seen people bring their whole family before. I think not this trip, but the last trip to South Africa, they had a whole family, mom, dad, children, seen them all. Big family, showed up. So bring your family. I'm gonna tell you something. I wish my parents would have took me on a trip like that. You know, at that time period, we black folks were traveling like we do now. It's totally different, so I can't blame my parents for anything. But I just wish I could have had that experience even way back then. My life probably would be a whole lot different today if I had those experiences. But hey, I had the experience I have because God ordered my steps, right? Make sure you get the app, download the African Diaspora News Channel app, Google Play, Apple App Store, get a membership, monthly, quarterly, or yearly. Thank you, and we'll see you on the next one.